There he is. I got
What's
a
up?
question for you. Good morning, sir. How you doing? You doing all right?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. I got a question for you because I think it's an interesting debate. Although I lean heavily on one side of it. Is winning a quarterback stat?
I think in a way it is. I don't really understand when people will be like, "Oh, like make fun of QB wins." Like being the quarterback on a winning team is significant. I mean, it's like, honestly,
It's like Belichick with Brady and without.
no. See, I
Is
don't
it
like
is it
that
is
one
it like the
because
Dolphins 17 years with Marino and 20 years without? Is it Geno Smith's entire career or Geno Smith 2022? Is it would the Dolphins be 8-4 with Teddy Bridgewater and Skyler instead of Tua? That's the kind. To me, that's how I equate winning to the quarterback. He's the ultimate difference maker, bro. He's the reason why you win, why you celebrate, and why you are there aberrations? Of course. You have Peyton Manning that can't throw more than 10 yards in 2016 with the Broncos and win. Trent Dilfer was, a game manager at best with a generational defense. I get it. Every once in a while, there's an aberration. But without the quarterback, you don't have the ultimate success, dude. You just
no,
don't.
I would agree, but I don't see for QB wins. I don't know that that's the argument. I mean, yes, a good quarterback equates to more wins. I think a better question is like Jimmy Garoppolo. Right. He has a great record as the 49ers starter. He really has a great record. I think he tied Steve Young with best winning percentage for a 49ers quarterback. He is a winner. He has been the quarterback for a lot of 49ers winning teams. But he doesn't get the credit I think he deserves because people are like, oh, well, he just sort of manages. Like they just kind of win in spite of it. And I'm like, no, like that's real. His record is real. It's not the only measure of a quarterback. There's plenty of others. QB rating is one. There's plenty of others. But whether or not you're a quarterback of a winning team is significant, and I think it should be treated like that rather than like, oh, well, you just kind of happen to be there, the quarterback of whatever team who happens to win.
Yeah, no, I think the reason why Jimmy doesn't get the credit, Emmanuel Sanders, bro. You had the play in your hand and you overthrew him, and that was the difference between you being you win, but you can't be counted on to be clutch. And then the other thing, unfortunately for Jimmy,
but yeah,
is the other thing what happened to him this past week.
Yeah.
He has been one of the most unlucky people out there because he is constantly injured. And really, the Jalen Phillips injury with him there, that's just getting tackled. That could happen to any freaking quarterback on any play.
See, I don't know
and
that.
it just happened to him, but it just seems to always happen to him, unfortunately. He's got terrible luck, dude. God, that guy's got bad luck.
Is it bad luck? Is he injury prone? I mean, I've been doing this for more than 10 years. I've seen a lot of injuries. I've covered a lot of players. I have no earthly idea if it's luck or random, but I know this. There are certain players who make sure that when they get tackled, their feet are not on the ground. Aaron Rodgers doesn't even throw with his feet on the ground. Tom Brady lands on his left shoulder almost every time he goes down. Watch him. It's fascinating. He lands on his left shoulder. Why? Because he avoids injury on his right shoulder. Like, that's significant. That is a skill. So, yeah, I think it's bad luck for Garoppolo, but at some point, is it luck or is it what is going to come eventually if you sign him? And I don't know the answer to that. But that's, he's going to head into free agency this year. Like, teams are going to have to wrestle with that.
Right, of course. And listen, you know what's going to happen. The team that doesn't have a quarterback, hasn't had quarterbacks for years, will take the chance on him because, dude, if he's healthy, he's better than anything we've had. So we might as well go take a chance with him. And so somebody will give him a chance because, damn it, dude, it's a quarterback. It's hard. They're hard to get. They're hard to find. You know what I'm saying? It's just, like I said, life without Marino has not been fun, dude. Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas, and Sam Madison, and Pat Surtain, and Tim Bowens, those dudes should have had a lot of playoff runs. They should have had a couple of really deep playoff runs. But they never had the guy on the other side that could complement what they bring to the table. Ricky Williams ran his ass off for 2 years here. Should have had more success as a team, but you didn't have the guy that, pulls the trigger that is the elite guy. And to me, I just find it, quite frankly, I find it asinine not to attribute winning to your quarterback. because I've watched it as life
Well,
without
they also have
Marino
their hands on
has
literally
been
everything.
terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. It's the most important position in all of pro sports, dude. That guy just affects everything, and I've watched it for 20 years without Marino here, and now with Tua, it's a whole different ballgame. And I know he had a bad week this week, and you could chalk it up to that. At least I do.
Well,
You know,
he
to me, it's
faced a great defense.
but he missed a bunch of open guys, dude. It had nothing to do with the defense. He was just off. He should have. Normally, he hits all those guys, but listen. I'm old, man. There were days where we sat there at the end of the game, dude, Marino just doesn't have it, and Shula's benching his ass or whatever. I saw Marino get benched a couple times, late third, early fourth. Like let me bring Stroker in. You just don't have it, Dan. You're forcing the ball. You're throwing in interceptions, and that happens even to the great Dan Marino. He had some days where you were just.
I cannot imagine. I was that was before my time. The thought of like a franchise quarterback getting benched nowadays is crazy.
It happened. Well, listen, Don Shula can bench whoever the hell he wants. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Marino's big. Don Shula was bigger. So it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Don Shula. He can bench whoever the hell he wants and rip whoever he wants. But I saw Marino get benched. Okay, I saw Marino where Shula just, hey, you don't have it today, kid. Let's it's all right, Dan. We'll bring in Don. We'll finish out the game, whatever, and it happens. By the way, speaking of injury prone, what's up with Odell Beckham now? Apparently, after the physical with Dallas, there could be some delays here. There could be some questions to signing him. What's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't get the sense. I know there were some reports yesterday about the Cowboys not being happy with his ACL. I mean, I think it checked out fine. It's just what timeline do you want? Like, are you okay with, you're going to, let's say he signs tomorrow. Well, then, okay, I guess that's possible. But then it'll probably be a week or maybe two ramp up. Got to get in football shape. An ACL recovery is a lot. Usually it takes a full year, 11 months to a full year. He's almost there. But if you sign him, the only thing that matters is he ready for the playoffs? So maybe play the final 2 games of the regular season and then into the playoffs. That's worth it to me. That is worth it. So, I still believe the Cowboys are in position to do that. So I didn't really take much from the reports yesterday. I think it was just kind of immaterial to the overall search, I guess.
Another injured guy here in Miami, Byron Jones. The coach made it sound like he thinks he might be making a comeback at some point here. Do you hear anything on Byron Jones?
I really don't. And I think, it's one of those situations where, like, if he gets out there and practices, great, like, awesome, I'm not sure he's someone who I would say you'd sort of count on. But until he gets out there, it's really just kind of a thing to talk about, honestly.
Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
The reports say Rams are the only ones that claimed him.
That's true.
They're 3-9. Mm-hmm. I ask you, why?
Great question. I'll give you a couple reasons why. I think it made a lot of sense. So a couple reasons why. Need a quarterback. Stafford's on IR, probably out for the season. They're starting John Wolford. At least they need a backup. So they paid $1 million, $1.5 million to get Baker Mayfield as a backup. Maybe he starts a game or two late in the season. Maybe he's good. If he's good, you have these options. Bring him back as a backup. Okay, possible. Backup Stafford. Maybe an option for the future. Maybe you like him a lot, and he is your quarterback of the future after Stafford retires. And in that case, this look-see would be worth it. Let's say he plays well and signs somewhere else for $4 million a year, right? Not out of the realm of possibility. Well, then the Rams get a compensatory pick basically for free. So a lot of good reasons. And then if he's bad, you didn't really lose anything. You don't even have to cut a guy. So a lot of reasons why it made sense for the Rams to claim him.
All right. I'm just the one thing I did say yesterday that if anybody claims, Mayfield, you got to have a strong quarterback room. And at least that Stafford is the guy. So there's no discussion there. And I don't know if he's even going to be willing to come back. I don't know what he views himself as. That's the thing. Has he been humbled enough at this point to know that the league is only going to look at him as a backup right now? Nobody's really going to look at him or say, oh, no, we want to bring you in to compete for a starting job.
I don't think he sees himself as a backup at all, but I think that's okay. Like, it sounds like, Carolina was a tough situation. Obviously got benched, got injured. It was a lot. Coach got fired. There was a lot there. I would say he handled himself pretty well. Left Carolina as a pretty good professional, as a good person. So I'm not worried about him in the room. I'm just wondering, like, is he good? Because in Carolina, he was not very good. And after shoulder surgery, remember, he had surgery on the other shoulder to repair some torn labrums. He wasn't very good after surgery. Hasn't been very good after surgery. Was something mechanical messed up there that he can fix with Sean McVay or not? That's really my questions. I'm not so worried about behavior. I'm worried about football.
Yeah, no, I'm with you too. I don't think he's a good football player as it is. So I just that's to me why I was just wondering maybe get somebody else. But okay, the compensatory part is kind of interesting if he does do something actually half decent and somebody signs him. John Robinson fired by the Titans. A little bit of a surprise, and reading up, the first round history, people were pointing at that. But I get it if you don't necessarily succeed a lot in the first round, but if you're succeeding in other places, in other rounds, and street free agent, if your team is winning and the roster is usually pretty solid, you would think he was doing a good job. There's just a part of me, since I've been through it down here, was there a power struggle? Did John Vrabel want more power in personnel since he's been there for a while and he's proven that he's a hell of a coach? So I'm just wondering, is this turning into a Vrabel will have the influence on who the next general manager is, which indirectly means he will have an influence on what happens in personnel?
To answer the second question first, I would say I expect him to have influence on who the GM is. I do. There was everybody wants to know about the timing. Why would you fire a guy with a couple games left or in first place? Two possible reasons for the timing. One, if you fire him now, you don't have to worry about him winning a playoff game, and maybe you can't fire him after that, right? So, like, fire him now, make sure he doesn't win a playoff game, like, just make the move and move on. The other thing is, it's a couple days after the A.J. Brown game. A.J. Brown dunked all over them. He was great. He had 2 touchdowns. He was the best player on the field, and it kind of rubbed it in that he used to be in Tennessee. And then he comes back after the game and says, yeah, I wish I was still in Tennessee. I'd wanted to stay there. John Robinson was for the trade. Mike Vrabel was not for it. So that would sort of, maybe if there was a split in the building, maybe people are like, I wonder, is this guy still good? Maybe watching A.J. Brown do what he did was the reminder for them, like, okay, like, we should actually make a move.
That's so short-sighted. Okay, so why did you draft Malik? That means you're turning – well, because if you drafted Malik, my brother, that means this is Tannehill's last year because you're not drafting that kid that high to not play him. So you're going to play Tannehill this last year. Kid gets to sit back, learn, watch, whatever. And then year 2, you're going to have to throw him out there on the field, and you need to start finding out about him. So why are you going to be paying a wide receiver all that money when he's not going to be really used that well because you've got a rookie receiver that, pretty much is going to have to develop? And 2, you're powered by Derrick Henry overall. So I thought it made all the sense in the world. You draft Malik, you draft Treylon. So now those 2 are growing up together. You're not spending all that money on A.J. Brown when you're really not going to be a playoff team anymore. Once you go to Malik next year, you're into developmental stages. So I thought it made a lot of football sense. I understood what the general manager was doing. Okay, we're going to draft Malik, which Vrabel must have approved, right, after Tannehill's, situation in the playoffs. Then you're already convinced he's not the guy. Okay, so now you're moving over to Malik. Why pay all that money to A.J. Brown when you can then maximize it right now with picks? Go draft Treylon, who, by the way, looks like a decent player now. He's a first rounder. It looks like he's going to hit. They're going to hit on him. He had a really heads-up play the other day on a fumble that he came back and picked it up for them. So I thought it made a lot of football sense. So now you get butthurt because you traded A.J. Brown. I think that's kind of short-sighted. You made a plan. Now you don't want to go by the plan? I don't get it.
Well, I don't think the coach made the plan. And also, you
Okay.
discounted this year. They
I
have
did.
a playoff ready team this year. They could win the Super Bowl. Are they likely to? I don't know who's likely to. But hey,
Come on.
they got
Come
the best
on.
running back in football. They got a defense that's good enough. They got enough weapons, and they're in first place. They are going to be in the playoffs.
But they don't have the guy that's going to make the difference in key moments. You know that, and I know that.
With
Unless
AJ
you
Brown,
haven't been convinced about, unless you still haven't been convinced about Ryan Tannehill.
With AJ Brown, they might have. AJ Brown is a very good player, and he plays his best against the best. So that's one thing. Is you're right on a lot of things, but I think you discounted this year. And I think if you're Tennessee, you have a team that is playoff ready and can win. So, does making a move like that make sense? The other thing I would say is when you have a homegrown player who is great, and AJ Brown is a homegrown player who is great, and you don't pay him, the locker room notices, right? The locker room notices. Why didn't you pay that guy? We work hard. We have success. Why have you not paid him?
He's a monster.
Yeah. So why have you not paid the homegrown? I mean, those are the guys you should be dying to pay. That was what was alarming to me was you didn't have to trade him. You could have gotten a deal done. You chose to trade him. Why didn't you? Those should be the guys you want to keep.
I think they trade him because you were going to turn to Malik. And then if you're going to turn to kind of a running offense, you kind of end up in that situation where, well, I get it. Listen, the problem with that running offense stuff, you're going to have to either trade or draft receivers because they're not going to come to you in free agency. You know what I mean? Because,
huh? Probably true.
That's kind of what it is, unfortunately. I mean, Philadelphia has to either draft or trade for him. People aren't going to gravitate to running quarterbacks and running offenses. Although I will give Hurts credit. He has improved his passing.
He's been great.
That he has improved.
MVP candidate.
Huh? Yes.
MVP candidate.
Yeah, he has improved his passing, whereas the other guy in Baltimore, I just don't see it. And I feel terrible. By the way, what a mistake on his part. God, that is a catastrophic, an incredibly dumb mistake. He should have been paid. Lamar, yeah, he should have had an agent, and he should have been paid 2 years ago. Ian, you and I know that. An agent would have had him paid 2 years ago. He would have never seen the light of day of his 4th and 5th years of his contracts. He would have been paid and handsomely with an agent. That's what he should have done, dude. A running quarterback, you don't do this, bro. You don't bank on yourself on a 5th year. Feel bad for him. Really dumb.
Well, don't feel too bad because he's going to be back soon. It might just be 1 week, and they're going to the playoffs, and I think they're going to be good. So don't feel too bad.
Oh, I do.
For a monster.
When have they been good in the playoffs with him? I'm sorry, I must have missed that. I mean, he's not the passer that makes the difference in the playoffs. They stop the running game and then they stop him.
We're gonna find out. I think you're wrong, but you might be right. We're gonna find out this year.
He hasn't succeeded in the playoffs, right?
He's only been in once. Last year he was injured at the end of the year. His MVP season they lost to the Titans, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? I think so.
Yeah.
Who are good.
That's what I'm saying. He's he still hasn't gotten that part fixed yet to really put himself in that upper echelon. But anyway, all right. So Vrabel is winning the power struggle. Okay. All right. What do you got going on in the NFL Network?
Well, I mean, it's already been a crazy busy week. I mean, Baker and John Robinson happening on a casual Tuesday. I was not prepared for that mentally. Could be another fun week. Back at it on Sunday mornings on game day morning, and all week on NFL Network. A lot of fun stuff happening.
Dolphins or Chargers? Dolphins or Chargers? Who wins?
My guess is the Chargers, but we will see. It's gonna be a really good game. Really, really excited about that game. That's Sunday night. Should be awesome. I'm pumped.
All right, Ian. Appreciate you, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
Look forward to it, man. Take care.
You got it. There you go. Don't forget Red Recover, baby. If you're dealing with pain, I don't want you to deal with pain. I mean, pain, discomfort, old injury, old surgery. We've been telling you about Red Recover for a while now. By the way, you can save 30% right now. Right now, 30%. While it lasts, go. RedRecover.com. You use our code Big O, it's 10%. Right now, we got a sale going on, 30% off. These things are inexpensive as it is. So if you got shoulder, elbow pain from tennis or pickleball or whatever it is that you play, knees, ankles, back, you name it. We've got wraps for the dogs, for their hips. It's great for the kids too. It's all natural. It's red light therapy. There's there's no anything wrong with it whatsoever. There's no drugs, no nothing involved. It's red light therapy. That's it. It's healthy and right for everybody. They even have a hat to help you grow your hair back. If you're recently losing your hair, not if you've been bald for years and years, it's not going to save you. But if you're in the process that you started to lose your hair and maybe you want to save it, well, red light therapy can help there too. If you're a workout warrior, okay, and you're going to go play your basketball, walking, running, pickleball, tennis, whatever it is that you do, and you normally have certain areas that you have some soreness, you get the wraps for that certain area, and you treat it before and after your workouts, and you're going to see how you're going to optimize your workouts. Go to redrecover.com, check out the video blogs right now, 30% off. Go to redrecover.com. Take advantage, folks, before that sale is gone. redrecover.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.